On a bone-chilling winter night in upstate New York, the snow fell so hard it erased roads, signs, and even hope. But inside a creaky old cabin near the edge of the forest, 72-year-old Miss Thelma Johnson stirred a pot of chicken soup on the stove. Her house was small, filled with memories of a husband long gone and children who now lived far away. Alone, but never bitter, she had warmth in her heart that the world too often overlooked. Suddenly, a loud knock, unusual. No one came up this road, especially not in a storm. Thelma opened the door to find a terrified white couple and a little boy wrapped in a blanket. Their car had spun off the icy road, and their phones had no signal. They'd been walking for over an hour, nearly frozen. Without hesitation, she said, "Come in, babies. You're safe now." That single act of kindness would change all their lives forever. Inside, the couple Mark and Rachel Whitman sat by the fire, while little Eli, just 5, fell asleep wrapped in one of Thelma's handmade quilts. Rachel had tears in her eyes. "We didn't know where we were. We thought we might not make it." Thelma smiled gently, handing Mark a steaming bowl of soup. "Well, y'all made it to the right place. God don't make mistakes." They ate in silence, the storm howling outside. But inside there was a warmth money couldn't buy. Then Rachel asked, "Why are you all the way out here, alone?" Thelma paused, gazing at the fire. "I was a nurse once, saved lives in the city hospital. But after my husband died, I came back to the house we built. Folks around here don't visit much anymore. I guess out of sight, out of mind." Mark looked down, guilt written on his face. He'd passed through black neighborhoods in his city, but never stopped, never thought about the lives behind those doors. Now, one of those doors had saved him. The storm didn't let up that night. Thelma set up a bed for Eli on her couch, while Rachel and Mark slept in her small guest room. As she tucked Eli in, he whispered, "You remind me of my Nana. She passed away last year." Thelma kissed his forehead. "Then maybe she sent me to take care of you tonight." By morning, the storm had eased. The sun glistened on the icy trees, but the roads were still blocked. Mark went outside to try and dig out the car, while Rachel helped Thelma make breakfast. As they ate together, Rachel noticed the house old, worn, and clearly in need of repair. "Miss Thelma, this place is special. But how do you manage everything on your own?" "I don't need much, just peace, a warm meal, and good memories." But Rachel saw what others didn't, a woman who had given the world her heart and been forgotten in return. By late afternoon, a tow truck reached the cabin and pulled the Whitmans' car back onto the road. Mark offered Thelma money for her help, but she refused. "Kindness shouldn't come with a price tag," she said softly. They hugged goodbye. Eli wouldn't let go. "Can we come back sometime?" he asked. Thelma chuckled. "You'd better." And with that, they were gone. Weeks passed, then months, until one spring morning, a black SUV pulled up Thelma's driveway. Rachel stepped out, followed by Mark and Eli, but they weren't alone. Behind them came a van, and then another. "What's all this?" Thelma asked, confused. Mark grinned. "You helped us when we had nothing to give. So now we're giving back." The vans held workers, contractors, painters, carpenters. Rachel was an architect. Mark ran a local construction company. They'd gathered friends and volunteers, inspired by Thelma's story. They were renovating her entire home. Thelma stood speechless as they rebuilt her porch, repainted her living room, replaced her broken heater, and even restored her late husband's old garden. Eli helped plant new flowers. Miss Thelma, now your house is as warm on the outside as it is on the inside. A local news station caught wind of it and came to do a story. Donations poured in. Neighbors started visiting again, and Thelma, she began teaching young girls in the community how to sew and quilt just like she had when she was a child. Her cabin became a center of hope. As she sat on her new porch one summer evening, Rachel handed her a framed picture of the snowy night they first met. Thelma looked up with tears in her eyes. "I thought I was forgotten," she whispered. Rachel held her hand. "You reminded us what love looks like. We won't forget that. Sometimes it takes a snowstorm to melt the walls between us. Sometimes one act of kindness writes the next chapter of your life. And sometimes the person you help ends up helping you more than you ever imagined. Because when hearts connect, miracles happen."